Is the Browns season over already after that crushing loss? And should Cleveland just go ahead and cut kicker Andre Szmyt after one game? 2 missed kicks, get out of here? This is another rumor going around. Is Cleveland really going to sign Justin Tucker? And do they need to make a quarterback change already and put in Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel? It's Overreaction Monday. We're going to get into all these rumors. Welcome into today's show, everybody. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue, and do not miss a thing here on the Browns Report. Make sure you are subscribed. We're doing watch parties all year long, every week, for every Browns game, and giving you daily Browns news. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's overreact to the Browns' loss to the Bengals on Sunday, 17-16. Look, this was a crucial game when you look at the Browns schedule as a whole. So it is a crushing loss, and I could see why people are already giving up hope for the rest of the season. This is the Browns' first 5 games. I thought the Bengals were going to be a win. It almost was. It should have been. Look at their next 4 opponents. They have to go at Baltimore. Then they have to play the Packers, who now have Micah Parsons and are a Super Bowl contending team. Then they have to go at Detroit, another Super Bowl contending team. And finally, they'll host the Vikings, which is maybe the only game I would give to Cleveland. But the Vikings have a good offense. And we'll see how McCarthy looks Monday night against the Bears. But there's a real possibility Cleveland starts 0-5 now because of that loss to the Bengals. I had them starting 2-3, Cincy being one of the wins. Now I have to have it as 1-4, potentially. I mean, this loss is definitely something worth overreacting to a little bit, and it was such a winnable game. It was more than winnable. That doesn't even do it justice. It was right in Cleveland's hands. So, as far as week 1 losses go, normally you can push week 1 to the side, but this game was important because, like I said, now Cleveland is going to get off to a slow start and people are going to write them off. Fans are going to be losing hope, overreacting like they're doing already on social media, giving up. But like I said, this game literally could have been handed to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they stunted the Bengals offense. The Bengals had 141 net yards of offense. That's their second lowest in a win in franchise history. Oh, by the way, they had 7 offensive yards in the whole second half. How did Cleveland not win that? Then the Bengals punted on 4 consecutive drives after they took that 17-16 lead, okay? That's the final score, mind you. And what did Cleveland do on those drives? Turned it over on downs because of a drop by Jerry Jeudy, unfortunately. Punted the ball away. Missed a chip shot field goal, and threw a second interception of the game. Flacco bounced off of Tillman's hands, and that was kind of the dagger. So Cleveland had so many opportunities. This is a brutal blow for the Browns, but they can win games. So this does set me back a little bit. Like, I was a lot more excited about the Browns season, but I'm not giving up, all right? I'm not falling into the season's done and Cleveland's drafting first overall. No, not yet. There's winnable games on the schedule, and the Browns actually looked good until that fourth quarter against the Bengals. The defense still looked good in the fourth quarter. The Bengals had 0 points in the fourth. So clearly Cleveland's going to have a good defensive team. It's just, can we capitalize and not make mistakes on offense? No drops, no turnovers. And when you do that, I think there's 10 beatable opponents on the Browns schedule. Like I said, I think they can beat Minnesota. Miami looked terrible. Cleveland could beat them. The Patriots looked sluggish as well. Lost to the Raiders. Cleveland could beat New England. The Jets, anybody could beat the Jets. The Raiders, also a beatable team. Same with the Niners. The Titans, Cam Ward did not look good. The Bears, we'll see how they look Monday night. But Steelers twice as well. I usually like to chalk a division game to Cleveland or 2. And they should have beat the Bengals. They could beat them the second time around. So that's 10 teams on the list right there. 11 if you count the Steelers twice. And heck, if you want to give them one win against Baltimore, because I think, like I said, division games can go literally either way. There's still a lot of wins to be had for the Browns. Let's not give up. Overreaction number 2. Do we just cut Andre Szmyt after one game? Get out of here. We don't have time for this. We let Hopkins go. which was the right move. But that means the Browns felt so confident in Szmyt based on his preseason and his camp. Well, I'm lacking a little bit of confidence at the moment. Let's see the moment where Szmyt missed the potential game winner. This was my reaction.
A 36-yard field goal. Andre Szmyt trots on. The kick is up. Wide right. You got to be kidding me. A 36-yarder. He just missed it to take the lead. Dude, that's such an easy kick. You got to be kidding me.
Oh, it was brutal. If you want to join the party, make sure you are subscribed because we're doing watch parties every week for every Browns game. You can be in the live chat for the reaction and go through it together as Browns fans. Another funny thing people are overreacting about on social media, well, there's already a Browns kicker jersey. You know the quarterback jersey, right? Well, now kickers are becoming a poor part of the Browns franchise history. Look at some of these names. Cody Parkey, Austin Seibert. Where's Cade York? I know I got some Cade York stands in the chat. Oh, gosh, it's been awful, people. Obviously, Dustin Hopkins, Zane Gonzalez, Greg Joseph. Folks, Andre Szmyt is now a part of that list, but he's still in Cleveland. And I say we just honestly give him one more chance. All right? It's one game, so it is an overreaction to say cut the kid immediately. He made a 45-yarder to start the game. I think we're just really frustrated. I think we're mad. I am too. One more game, Szmyt, and that's it. He misses a chip shot. We don't have time for this. Cleveland's got a good defense. They can contend this season. Get him out of here if he misses again. One game will give him the benefit of the doubt, and so are all the Browns' teammates and coaches. David Njoku tweeted out, said, "We will be better as a team," in all caps. And he's kind of right. It wasn't just Szmyt. Szmyt was probably the biggest thing you could point to. The biggest reason they lost was because chip shot field goal could have given the Browns the lead with 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. He missed it. But remember, receivers dropped passes. Tillman popped the ball up. It got picked. Flacco and Jeudy couldn't connect. Resulted in another pick. Like, it was not just Szmyt. So I know we're really upset. We're mad. I certainly am. But it's just one game for the kicker. And I don't think we should call his career already in Cleveland. And so that's my take on it. But eventually, I'm done. Like I said, it's just one game. I'm done after the second game. All right, let's bring in a competition. So what do you think in the comments? How long before the Browns should cut Andre Szmyt? Comment below. How much leeway are you giving him? All right. I see a lot of people saying cut him right now, which, hey, we can't deal with this. So fair take if you think so. But let me know in the comments right now, how long do we give this man? This rumor coming up to potentially replace Andre Szmyt is people are saying the Browns should legitimately sign Justin Tucker. Are we serious right now? Is it a joke? First of all, Tucker is suspended for the first 10 weeks. So he wouldn't even help right now. And he was awful last season. Cleveland would be a joke if they brought in Justin Tucker. The biggest memed team on social media if the Browns went out and signed Justin Tucker out of all the players they've already signed with off-field issues. Do not bring in Justin Tucker. That's all I have to say about that rumor. Shut it down immediately. No, no, no. Next reaction we have to get into is Joe Flacco. How much is Flacco to blame for the loss? I see a lot of people defending him. I see a lot of people saying, hey, he's the quarterback, he should own it. We're going to get into that right after I tell you about our sponsor on today's video. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Honestly, I'm so ready that football is back on Sundays. All is right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with Prize Picks. I'm obsessed with it because it makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in And Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you could still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You could double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. It's a great deal. I've got another lineup cooked up for week 2. First, I've got Justin Jefferson, more than 4.5 receptions tonight. I mean, he's a reception machine. Just needs 5. Jaden Daniels, I think, gets more than 1.5 passing touchdowns this week versus Green Bay. That game's going to be an offensive shootout. And finally, Prize Picks giving us another amazing deal where you can get more than half a receiving yard on Travis Kelce as one of your picks. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Okay, getting into quarterback Joe Flacco. First interception that he threw. Listen, I know a lot of people are saying the picks aren't on Flacco. This is the only one where he could get a little bit of blame. Because look at Jeudy. He's diving, laying out for that ball. It was not an accurate throw. Now, the worst thing that should have happened was it's just an incompletion, right? But Jeudy tried to make a play, got his hands on it. All of a sudden, that ball's up in the air and going the other way. Same thing with Tillman trying to make a play and a catch, and that was intercepted. But outside of a couple off throws, Flacco looked pretty good for the most part. That Cedric Tillman touchdown. Let's analyze it a little bit. Here's what Flacco was seeing. Look at where Tillman is in the back of the end zone. This is all Joe Flacco anticipating Tillman's route. It's a smart quarterback. He sees the field well, and he throws it on target perfectly, finds Tillman open in the end zone. Good quarterback. Great read by the defense. I mean, it doesn't look as open as he was. It's because Flacco knows where his receiver is going to be. So I liked what I saw from him. Like, he threw 45 passes. It was crazy. 290 yards for old Joe. We can definitely roll with Flacco for a longer part of the season. Like, he did not play bad. Good performance. I'm happy to see him play well. But like I said, that schedule is going to be brutal. So there's going to be a point where people are going to be calling for Flacco to head to the bench. And those 2 picks, while they weren't entirely on him, they go down in the stat sheet as poor stats for Flacco. But like I said, outside of that, nearly 300 yards, a perfect touchdown pass to Tillman, and 31 completions. I mean, did you expect that from the 40-year-old? I certainly came on the show and kept saying that he could still sling it. So let me know in the comments. Give me a rating. Joe Flacco's performance for the Bengals, 1 to 10. What would you rate how Flacco did? Comment your answer down below. Next thing, I think there is going to be a point in the season where Flacco does head to the bench, though. So he had a good performance, but Cleveland is going to lose a lot of those games against the tough opponents they have coming up. And eventually, fans are going to be screaming, let's see what we have in the rookies. Cleveland's losing. I think Gabriel gets in at some point during the season. I think Shedeur follows right behind him. We know that that's been the story for the Browns offseason was quarterback battle. Pickett's out of it now. You got the 2 rookies sitting behind the veteran. When do we see them? Well, we're already seeing all of our rookies, for the most part, be impactful players, make impact plays. Why not test out the rookie quarterbacks at some point? Look, if Flacco's balling and the Browns go undefeated or something like that from here on out, sure, keep him in. But they're already winless. So I don't know if Flacco's the long-term answer. He's certainly not the answer of the future. I think if Cleveland gets a few more losses under their belt, I'll be screaming, let's put Shedeur Sanders in, see what we have in him. They're going to go with Dylan Gabriel before they do that, though, because he's second on the depth chart. Curious to know what everyone thinks about that in the comments. There's already people on social media screaming that Shedeur should be the starter, so we'll get into that more. But thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of the Browns Report. Browns football's back. We're here for you all season long, every day. And like I said, subscribe so you don't miss our watch parties. And thank you for tuning in to the Browns Report.